Good morning, everybody. It's 8:10 a.m. August 14th. Huge moves in the market yesterday. Huge. This is what I was talking about, especially in the NASDAQ with the ultimate balance and that monster level. Okay. I took advantage of it with a trade yesterday. Nice trade, rode it all the way up. Um, that ultimate balance gave me the confidence to just stick with it, and the internals were strong. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. We'll get into all of that. This morning, kind of flat before CPI is coming out. Volume's low, but CPI is coming out at 8:30. We'll go over that. We'll do it live. Without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name's Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in these markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the preceding day. Just all helps me find structure in the markets, see who's in control. All right. So hopefully everybody, if you're new, if you're already here, I do this every day at 8:10 a.m. Hopefully you can join me, have a cup of coffee, and get the latest market recap. What's going on in the morning, the leaders, the laggards, the market news, economic calendar. All right. Here's your one-stop shop where we're going to be. Okay. So, usually after that, I go over some upgrades, downgrades, see why stocks are moving and not moving. And then we go into daily charts, and then we go into the main event. That's the market profile and volume profile, the ES and NQ futures analysis, which I use to trade SPX options, futures, or SPY ETF or QQQ. Okay, that's where I do those scenarios long and short, and I do it live right in front of you. I don't even do any pre-market because this is my process. I do it with you. I do exactly with you live, looking at levels live, so you can see my process. Okay? So hopefully you can join me. All right? And you subscribe, set an alert. That would be awesome, trying to build this channel. Okay? Trying to build it. And if you do like my content, please give me a big thumbs up. That would mean a lot to me. All right? And you can always follow me on X. That's at Gonzo719. And you could always follow me on TikTok. That's Gonzo719Trader. Okay? Now that we got that out of the way, let's get right into futures watch list. And obviously the triple head monster is going to change once CPI comes out. Okay, but we'll go right to the futures watch list. And let's just see what we have going on here. Now, who's leading the pack here? We have the VIX is up 1.38%. This is just little hedging before CPI. That's why the VIX didn't just crater yesterday. Now we got Ether's up 1.3, the Russell's up 0.77, Bitcoin's up 0.65, Silver's up 0.64, 30-year bonds being bought up 0.25, Gold's trying to test all-time highs, up 0.19, ES is kind of flat, 10-year yield report at 820, that should yield be a little lower, but that's not going to matter. Let's see what CPI print is. The Dow is flat, the NQ is flat, the dollar is down slightly, 0.07. These are mostly flat because of the CPI coming out. Crude is only down 0.09. Okay, let's go to the Mag 7. What do we got here? Coinbase up 1.8%. Nvidia still riding high, up 1.7%. AMD, I'm loving it. I'm loving it a lot. I got long AMD. The other day, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. So that's a good play right now. I got a bull call spread on there. Broadcom's up 0.22. Whoa, that was a movement. Tesla's up 0.23. Snow's up 0.19. Amazon also got long Amazon yesterday. Hopefully that's one of my favorite picks, can go and get into that gap and start really pushing. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully if we get another push, Amazon should really start moving into the gap. All right. Now, what's our laggards today? We have Meta down a little bit, Google, some antitrust lawsuit, which is not good for them. They're down 1.08% based on that news. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the top sector stocks, and let's see what we have going on here. Eli Lilly, just a monster, up 0.52. Qualcomm is up 0.14, followed by Exxon, Chevron. And then we have Procter & Gamble's only down 0.04, and Home Depot's down 0.19. That's not much. All right, let's go to the swing trade list. Who's leading here? Cardinal Health reported earnings. They're up 5.77%. Dell's up 2.06%. That is a little regret on my behalf. I think it went down to like 89. I could be wrong, and I wanted to nibble. Still at nibbleth. Still at a nibble price because it's really dropped. And they laid off a bunch of workers. We'll have to see. All right, supercomputers will be splitting. Don't know, not sure the date of that, but they will be splitting. We got Mara, that's up. MicroStrategy split already, that's up 1.69. So Bitcoin related stuff's getting bought. Riot, SoFi's up 1.36. Crowd, it's another one when it went down to 210. I don't know what's going to happen with these lawsuits. Maybe that's baked into the price now. Not sure. Okay. We got SoundHound, Wayfair, ONON, Micron, Affirm, and then Fluor Solar. Those are the one percenters. Let's go to the laggards today. There's not much. Clorox, Taiwan Semiconductors, AstraZeneca, Starbucks got a new CEO. They pushed up, they stole the CEO from Chipotle, and they rocketed up yesterday. And then you got Medtronic, Bob. I mean, there's not much laggards here to speak of. It's really not even worth talking about here. And we go back to the top sectors. Now, let's go to sectors. Who's the leader? Here's the guts of the markets. Semiconductors up 0.44. Technology, remember, semis is included in technology, so that's what they're going to go hand in hand a lot of times. Real estate, it doesn't really matter. Communications down with Google, down 0.2 with Google. Okay, that's what's going on with the watch lists. All right. Now, we can move on to the economic calendar, and we got the main event coming at 8:30. Okay, 8:30 a.m. news dropping. So let's go on to the market news and the calendar. All right. So today, what do we got? Core inflation year over year, expecting 3.2. Last time was 3.3. So we're expecting a reduction. Okay. And then the year over year headline number, look at that. Expecting 3, previous 3. So they're not expecting that to go down. So anything better than this, say 2.9 here and maybe 3.1 here, should push the market farther up. Okay, should. Okay, PPI came in softer, market liked it. So let's see what happens with CPI. That's pretty much all that's on the docket today for that. Okay, now as far as news, let's look at some news here. We have Intel stock rose 0.4% because they sold their ARM holdings. Let's see. Peloton stock rose 6.3% after the exercise equipment maker announced a partnership with Google's Fitbit. Interesting. Starbucks fell 0.3%, handing back some of the previous session's hefty gains as the coffee chain named Chipotle's Brian Niccol as its new CEO. Okay, UBS stock rose 3.2% after the Swiss banking giant reported an impressive second quarter performance. Cardinal Health stock rose 6.7% after the healthcare services company raised its 2025 fiscal year guidance. Tencent Holdings stock will be in focus after the world's largest video game company and operator of the WeChat messaging platform reported an 8% rise in second quarter revenue. And then Medtronic stock fell 0.6% after Stifel downgraded its stance. Okay, moving on to more news. Let's see here. All right, looks like Mars to acquire Cheez-It, Pringles maker Kellanova in $36 billion deal. All right, now here's breaking up Google. an option being considered by U.S. Bloomberg News reports. The U.S. Department of Justice is considering options that include breaking up Alphabet's Google a week after a judge ruled the tech giant illegally monopolized the online search market. Okay, that's why Google is down a little bit. Okay. Looks like NHTSA closes preliminary evaluation on front suspension failure in Tesla vehicles. Okay, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said it was closed a preliminary evaluation to 74,918 Tesla vehicles over front suspension failures. Okay, let's see here. Like I said, anything else here I will note. I don't think there will be. Let's look at some. We'll go into upgrades and downgrades official, but here's some Eli Lilly. Berenberg raises target price to 1,050 from 1,000. Home Depot Piper Sandler cuts target price to 387 from 400. On holding, Wedbush raises target price to 48 from 42. Starbucks Stifle raises rating to a buy from hold and target price to 110 from 80. Workday Wells Fargo cuts price target to 260 from 275. Okay, that's there. Now we'll just get into upgrades and downgrades. Like I said, I only usually note. Well, we'll just refresh this. There might be new ones here. Okay, Chipotle upgrade, neutral to outperform. Okay, let's see here. Illumina upgraded. Starbucks got a bunch of upgrades. All right, from price targets from 120, 118, and 110. Now let's go to downgrades. Emerson Electric downgraded. Hershey downgraded. Intuit downgraded. Medtronic downgraded. We already talked about that. All right, let's go with price target changes. And we'll go with target raises first. We have, like I said, I'm only going to mention key ones. Alibaba got a target raise to 106. Tencent got a target raise. Oh, sorry. That's not a target raise. All right, so target lowers. Let's talk about that now. Tencent got target lowered. Chipotle target lowered, even though it got an upgrade. Interesting. And Bright House Financial. Okay. Now let's go to initiations. Anything to note here? Not really. All right. I think we're done there. And we can go on and move on to daily charts. And remember, at 8:30 we have news. Okay. We're going to get right into that live. Let's look at this daily chart together. Okay. All right. So, look at that move, boy. Now, what we did yesterday, let's go at our fib, right? Because I said pay attention to 537, 538, right? So 50% was right here, remember? Crossed that. Now, we might be headed to the 61.8, which is 544. So say 544 is a level 2. Now we're in the middle of this range, right? That would be in the middle of the range. Okay? We closed above the 20-day simple moving average. Now, look what lines up here with 544. 50-day moving average. That might be our next destination, 544. Write it down, 544. Okay? All right, so where are we at now? 542.7. Then let's see, 542.50. Let's just call it 542.15. Let's get this here. 542.15. We're like, we're at, well, 542.20 now. We're gapping up a little bit. Okay, let's look at the live look at the futures. Here we are. We can zoom in a little bit. Big move. Boom. Right? There's a candle right there. Right? So we're inside last month's range. Okay, inside last week's range. 55.06 is the 50-day moving average in futures. Okay, so we already closed above the 20-day simple moving average. Now 55.06 is the 50-day moving average. Okay, That is the SPY in the ES. Okay, let's look at the Qs. The Qs. Okay, and we have a downtrend line here. We pierced that downtrend line. We closed above the 20 simple moving average. Okay, we're inside last month's range. Those are the whites. Oranges, those are the weeklies. So we're above. Now I made a mistake in SPY. We are above last week. We're above it, totally above last week's range. We're inside last month's range. Okay, we are above the 100-day moving average. We're above the 20-day moving average. Now look at the top of this range here. That lines up with the 50-day moving average, which is 472. That could where the Qs end up 472, and that will be a very stiff test to see if this rally then gets sold. Okay, that 50-day moving average 472. All right, where are we now? 462.70. 462.70. We're gapping up. Are we gapping up? Yeah, a tiny gap up. We're all waiting for CPI. Okay, let's look at the live look futures. Here we are. You got a little doji candle, waiting for the CPI print. I think the CPI comes in a little soft. We start to move back in up to this 50-day moving average. So in the Nasdaq, it's 196.32, 50-day moving average. Okay, we're holding the 100-day moving average. Okay, so we have to see. We have to see. Okay, let's move over to the triple-headed. I'm not even sure if the triple-headed is worth to talk about because it's going to change with the CPI print. But we go to it because that's part of our process, right? It's part of our process. So let's go to that triple-headed monster. Start out with yields. Yields are falling again. Today they are down 0.57%. 0.57%. You got this big dip down. So that's 3.6 yield. We'll have to see what happens today. Okay, if these yields go back and test this low here. Okay. Now let's go to the VIX. Before that, let's show you our little triple-headed monster graphic here, because we got to talk about that. All right, and then we go to the VIX. The VIX is at an 18. 18 VIX, still pretty good. Remember, 16 VIX is a 1% expected move, so still got volatility in these markets. Okay, dollar has been in a range. I don't know why that happens with that. I gotta figure that out. Why that dollar does that. Anyway, here's the dollar. Dollar's breaking down here. For right now, that's pretty interesting. Breaking out of this range. Okay, that's good for equities and commodities. It's not good to devalue the dollar per se. Okay, gold is going up. All right, very interesting. Real quick, before we get into this news in 2 minutes, let's just look at our yen. So the yen's in a range now here, okay? If this starts pushing back up, that's going to put pressure on our markets again. That means the carry trade unwind will continue. Right now, you're in a range. That's why our markets have been stabilizing, all right? Look at the euro. Euro is pushing up because the dollar is going down. Euro is the largest currency against the dollar. It's 57.6%. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, let's go back to the SPY. Or we can go back to the live futures. Okay. Now, we're going to sit here and go to the news. Okay. We'll go to the well, let's real quick, you know what we'll do? We'll look at the relative volume. Look at the relative volume. Now, it's very low. 41% of the normal volume the last 20 days, 46% in the ES, 41% in the Nasdaq. That is not great volume, but we had super high volume. But this is the summer. CPI will take it up a little bit. But that's why the movement, we got volatility, so that's there, but the volume's a little lower. So, okay, so let's go to the hourly charts. All right, here's our hourly charts. Okay, and we're going to wait here. Look at those little candles. Oh my God. Boy. Those are little baby candles. And well, there's the prints out. Okay, you got little movements here. Okay, let's go to the actual results here. They're coming out right now. Let's see. All right. So, core inflation came in as expected. 3.2 came in at 3.2. Okay. Core inflation came in as expected. Went down from last time. Okay. Now, headline CPI. Oh, there it is. Headline was expecting 3, came in at 2.9. That's bullish. That is bullish. Okay. Now, you're getting a more of a green look here into this candle. I have to really zoom in because the candles are so little. Okay. We're getting some love here. Nvidia's up 2.42% on this. I think this might bring us to the 50-day moving average. Nothing about this is really bearish. You got better than expected in the headline. Core came in as expected. Okay. But core is down from the last reading. So we have to see really how the market handles this. Right now, it's looking like a nothing burger. You can see the volume, relative volume, got a little spike here because of the CPI right here. Still relatively low volume. Let's see crude's volume real quick. Crude's down to 64% in volume because it's all because of we had some crazy volume. Now let's see what this market really does. What I like about it right now is I can still plan. Okay, I could still plan. Now let's see what we do here. That's that big move up. Okay, right here. You know what? Might put a demand zone here. So while you guys are here, I might throw a little demand zone right here. All right, and we'll set an alert on that. This is how I do my alert system. I have it repeat every 1,000 seconds, and then I get a little voice, my own voice here when we go into demand. Alright, so this is fine. We could land here and pop up, right? That could be part of the plan. Alright, I think we're gonna now, like I said, right now this is like we got the big move yesterday. That big move right now is not happening, but it's not bearish. Okay, it's not bearish. All right, I think we're gonna get over to do scenarios. Okay, we're gonna get right over to the ES, and we'll look at what's going on in the markets. Okay. All right. So let's look at this together. And we have some notable things here. We have some notable levels and things to talk about. Okay. Here we go. Price is right here. 54.57 right here. You can see the most traded price is right here. All right. And you can see what we did yesterday. We opened here. This is the only short activity off that open. We didn't even fill the gap. Remember I said second most bullish situation is the failure to fill the gap, right? So that's what happened, and then we just pushed up yesterday. And NASDAQ was stronger yesterday. That's why I went long QQQ. All right, because there was other sectors that were a little bit of red. That's why I chose the QQQ. Okay, and of course NVIDIA. And you got like a very balanced profile here overnight. All right, like I said, this news is not bearish at all. Okay, now what do we have here? What do we have here? Right, so now we're within yesterday's range. We can look at the profile. It's the first thing we do. Sorry about that. Got some volume pushing out here. Now here's value area. Here's value area, 70%. Now, what's the market have to do? Most traded price of the week's 53.67. Okay, market needs to bring that most traded price up here around 54, 52, 54, 52. Okay, so if price, right, if price can make value follow it, that's bullish. Okay, however, this is a rubber band. Okay, if value is here and you can't establish value here, guess what price does? Returns back to value. Rubber band. Okay, so you need to see the market hold its higher prices, right? Forget about little price movements. It's about structure. That's what the one thing that really centers me a lot is, okay, what's the structure? Forget about price action that I just saw. That's what you need to look at, structure. Okay, how do we look at structure? Well, I always tell you, most traded price of the week was here, right? And I said, and this is the most traded price of this year, 52.70. Okay, price was holding above these levels. That is bullish. That is bullish. Okay, doesn't matter if you saw this happen in the middle of a day. It doesn't matter. Okay? I want to make sure everybody understands that. And it's very hard because when you're looking at little time intervals like a 3 minute, a 1 minute, it could seem like, oh my God, but you have to step out and look at the big picture. Step out and look at the big picture. Okay, so now there's a big level we have to watch here. What is that level? Right here, 54.52. It's a weak low. Now, why is that? This little kind of like hot pink or purplish bar is my most traded price of yesterday. It's yesterday's VPOC, volume point of control. Happens to be the POC, which is TPOs. Most time was spent here. You want the market to hold this level. Okay? You want it to hold. So this is your first level that bulls have to defend it. Okay? You want bulls to defend that level. Now you think about this. Okay? Remember yesterday I said this market's pretty frothy. Oh, I want to show you something else too. Here's yesterday's overnight most traded price. That was defended yesterday. Remember I said new business? Well, new business did not get taken care of, and that was a sign of strength. Okay? Okay, so we know we have to defend here. Okay? That's the weak low. 54.48. You want to see bulls. Now, see, the price is pushing up a little bit. Okay? You just got to resolve this. Okay? You might gap up in a little bit. All right? So that's a real important immediate defense. Now, second is you got 50% Fibonacci of yesterday's move is 54.3150. Write it down. 54.3150. That's the 50% Fibonacci. This lines up with this demand zone here. There's the second defense. Other than that, you're going to come here to like kind of like a breakout level of like 5400. Okay. And that gets a little probably don't want to see that much. Okay. Now, above us, that level is, let's just call it 5500. This is still up here the most traded price of the last month. That is a magnet. Okay. I think if we're going to go higher, we're going to go here and stop around here. Now, if we go above that, there's single prints above us. There's a lot of poor structure above us. But this level should stop the market in its tracks. And if it doesn't, look out. Okay, now that we got our levels talked about, right? Now we're gapping up a little bit. we're going to get into scenarios, okay? Let's get right into them. We're going to start with the bull scenario. What is that bull scenario, right? I just kind of talked about it, but let's go over it, all right? I don't know who's with me here today. Maybe Rosita, I don't know. G-Man, maybe. Anybody else that I don't know who watches? I know there's like 4 or 5 people that step in here every day. I don't know everybody, but yeah, G-Man, that's my man right there. All right, Rosita, don't know who else is there. I don't really see anybody else active in chat. There was another guy that used to ask questions, but I'm glad you two are here. All right, here we go. So here we go. 54.48. That's our level. That's the week low. Bulls need to step up here. Okay, and it might not be pretty. So what I'd like to see, this is getting a little wild here, right? What I'd like to see is we can go up a little bit, and I'd like to see some type of pullback here. If this holds, you got a naked VPOC from the past right here. That's just an untested most traded price today. Now, where am I going to go here if we start to go like this? I'm going to target 5,500, most traded price of the month. Okay. If we take this out and hold it, my lord, there's single prints all the way up here. Okay, I'll give you that. The end of the first line of single prints is 55.50. The start of the single prints is 55.17. If that market, that will be nuts. Okay, that will be nuts. Now, let's talk about the next place that the bulls have to defend. Okay, here's a 50% Fibonacci yesterday. We got a little demand zone right here that you saw me just put on the chart. Okay, so we can do this, cut through here. Now look, this is going to be a corrective action here. Think about it. Everybody's long here. Everybody's long here. If this pushes down, this is just going to be corrective. If we come down in here, you want to see in 50% Fibonacci, we start getting lower highs here. This could make us move up and make that move up to 5,500. 5,500. That's all I'm looking at. All right. That's all I'm looking at. Now, short side, talk about the bear. All right. We just reverse some of the things I just said. Okay. Remember, we're very frothy now. Okay. Longs getting paid, 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 longs getting paid. All right. You get the point. So, we have a little setup for a fade right here. Okay, so most traded prices overnight here, most traded prices yesterday here. All right, those are longs. Where would they be in pain? Underneath there. Okay, that's how that works. So we're going to go with that. Let's talk about it. We can push up. Now I want to see what the market does if it goes through this area. Okay, and this is the most traded price. If it does one of these, whoa, and holds here, you're shooting down here. Okay, you're going to shoot there. What if that does this? Breaks this demand, holds, holds, holds. You are going back to yesterday's lows. If yesterday's lows can't hold, you're definitely going to go back to the most traded price of the week, 53.67. That would mean that they couldn't establish value up here, okay? So you can start your short here. Conservatively would be under here, okay? I don't know if that's in the cards. I don't know, but I have to look at the scenarios here. Okay, market's pushing up. It's gapping up right now. It's gapping up. That's all I'm interested in the bear. Now, if you go back to the bull, let's just go back to one more scenario here. Obviously, we start moving up. This is the gap fill, 54.61 right here. So another thing could be push up, get some selling, hit the gap, and that could force you to go right up to 5,500. Okay. All right, moving on to the NASDAQ. Let's look at that together. Okay. Let's do it. talk about the structure here. We got a volume profile, we got value areas down here, and now we're pushing up. Okay, I'm going to make a video about this maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Ultimate balance. I talked about it yesterday. I said big move is coming. Okay, very, very important. 185.44. This area, not only was it the most traded price of this year, it was the most traded price of the rolling year, it was the most traded price of the month, and it was the most traded price of the week, and happened to be the most traded price of the previous day. Okay? Insane. And I said, whenever you have ultimate balance, what happens? Big moves. Big moves. And that's why this market pushed yesterday. That's why I got long the Qs. I like the Qs better. It just had better structure. Obviously, whatever the Qs does is going to lift the SPY. Okay? However, let's talk about it. All right, so what did we do yesterday? Same thing. Look, there was a lot of volume here in the overnight that held the Qs. Qs, look at this. Opened here, only short activity was this little thing before it friggin' started to rock. It consolidated here, and then boom, right? I rode that puppy all the way up. It was a great trade. Okay, now, what was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, we drove all the way up here. Okay, now we're gapping up. We're gapping up. Now, the 24-hour most traded price of the last month is 192. Okay, that's the 24-hour. The real-time trading hours is here. Okay, I'm not saying I don't put any weight in this. There's a little high volume node here at 192. Okay, that is because we're in the middle of the range of the Nasdaq. That big range that we just came down from. That's the middle of that range. Okay, now these are rolling levels, so this could push up today. Okay, it could bring the real-time trading hours up there as well. All right, let's look at structure. We're above monster levels. That is bullish. Where is the most traded price of the week? Still down here. What do you need to do? Build value around 191 here. If we have value following price here, that's bullish. You're just going to make more value here to push higher. Okay, now what happens? What happens if we can't do that? Price returns the value like a rubber band. Okay, that's why it's very important to establish price. This is price acceptance. Right now, what is the market telling us? We closed here. The price is here. Market is accepting higher prices. You could be a bear, but you can't dispute that. You know, you could tell me any bearish news you want. I'm going to be like, well, the market's telling us that it's bullish. Okay, so that's that. Now, let's look at inventory. Inventory has no edge here. That is no edge. All right, we're gapping up. Here is yesterday's highs. Here's the overnight high. Here's the overnight low. And here is yesterday's low. Okay, so same kind of thing. 50% Fibonacci is 189.68. Also lines up with this demand zone. Also lines up with the overnight low. Okay, now we have a different, like the ES has that nice overnight low with the most traded price of yesterday. The Nasdaq wasn't able to move this most traded price up here. Now, however, there is a big large volume here, so I can't discount it. It just happened to be my indicator says the most traded price was down here, but you could see there was a lot of volume up here, so I'm not going to discount this volume. Okay, so the bottom line is this. This is the area you want to see bulls defend. Okay, now I can also say this volume little shelf, the 190.61, can also be defended. Okay, and then I don't have supply. This is the thing about the Nasdaq. Okay, I don't have supply all the way up to 195. Okay, because if you get past this, this is the middle of that range that we fell out of. If you get past this and go here, it's single prints. Single prints. And if this market pushes, you're going to see these single prints get cleaned right up. Then I don't have supply until right here at like 195. Okay. I don't know if that happens today. I don't know, but that's very possible. Okay. Now let's talk about our scenarios. All right. We can wrap it up. And we're going to go with the bull. Bulls are in control. All right. So right here, this is what I'm going to say. This little 190.61 right here. Let's see if we can get some defense, immediate defense from the bulls. You got the most traded price of the overnight right here. You got large volume here from yesterday. What can they do? Can you defend that? And if you can, you're going to go up. At least test these singles. Remember, you got to get through 192, but if you do, you might do one of these and then start to try to rip through these singles at 193, finish them up here. That would be a nice move. Okay. Second, what if price falls through here and now you got the 50% Fibonacci and this demand? What do? What do we do here? Boop, boop, boop. You make higher lows. You can try to go up again. Okay, now to see the Nasdaq has a nice little high volume here. The most traded price of yesterday, right here. You could do a little bear trap here and go boop, touch that, and also take off. Below this, below that, because we gapped up inside of a gap. Okay, here I'm not crazy about. Okay, we might come back into here. So let's go right to the bearish side. Okay. Now 192, I have to respect it a little bit. That could be the wall. Okay. Could be the wall. So what do I want to see? All right. Push up. If we hit 192 and can't find acceptance over it, what does acceptance look like? Like this. Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. If we can't find that, okay, because this is a bear scenario. If we do this and then find acceptance below it, well, we're going to test that overnight most traded price, right? And if we break that, you got this is the POC right here from yesterday. That's the most time spent. If you go through that, you are definitely testing overnight lows in the 50% Fibonacci. What do we do here? So if it's weak, we should take out this demand and see if we can take out this most traded price, and then boom, and then you got that gap. You could take out yesterday's lows, and I believe we would probably fall into this demand and back to value. Again, I don't know. I don't know. To me right now, it's bullish, but that has to be in the scenarios. Okay? All right, folks. Any questions? Any questions? I don't. All right. Going once, going twice. I think that's it. All right. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. And if you're new, subscribe, set an alert. That would mean a lot to me. All right. And if you like my channel, please give me a big thumbs up. A like, be much appreciated. Again, you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719, and you can follow me on TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. Okay. Now, I did do a video. I posted it yesterday of a long I did in the SPY. That was last week. Yesterday had a, I think it was 211% return on the long I did in the QQQ. That was a monster trade. So I will be putting out a video of that today or tomorrow, and you can just see what I look at when I take a trade, right? Because this is pre-market planning, right? So this gives me a roadmap, but you know the roadmap can change. Okay, and I will go over that in detail in my reel when I'm yesterday. And I'm gonna give it a gist right now. I'll give you a little sneak peek, a little trailer. Yesterday, what I was looking at yesterday. Okay, when I look at market internals, and the market internals are now. Remember, we are in a bullish structure. Okay, if my market internal, specifically the weighted AD indicator, when it's at 0 or something like that, that's parity. That means that anybody can win. All right. But when I see technology is leading, specifically Nvidia, remember, you got to just remember this. Okay. What's the story of this market right now? We just sold off, carry trades over for right now. And whose earnings is coming up? Nvidia. Do you think money wants to be down at $90 a share in Nvidia when those earnings are coming? They've blown out earnings every time, right? So I'm just giving you a backdrop. So what happened yesterday was Nvidia was leading, and then what happened? We were trying to push higher, okay? And then this is the bear trap that happened yesterday. When the market came through this consolidated range and it flushed, guess what happened? Nvidia hit VWAP. And I let my order get slammed into. I think my level was, what the Q's at? 457. I said, that's going to go hit Nvidia's VWAP. 457, I wanted to get long at. And the Q's, I just put an order out there and I let the market hit it because you didn't have time to set that up. And I was willing to take the risk. Okay? Because why? Ultimate balance. Remember, ultimate balance. That was worth the risk. It was worth the risk. And then what happened? $5 later is when I got out. Okay? Big move. And guess what happened to those market internals? They got stronger and stronger and stronger as the day went on. Okay, I can show you that right now. Just want to show you, instead of me just telling you, let me show you real quick. These market internals. Okay, right here. I want to show you that. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about in the beginning of the day. See, this is like 9 o'clock. I got long at 10:30. So right here, you notice how they're neutral? And look at that build through the rest of the day. Now this diagram here signifies market cap weighted stocks. This is how the market moves. Look at the XLK was up 1.8 off the open. So in the morning, XLK was up, discretionary was up, and communications was up, and there was red in other sectors. So whenever infotech, consumer discretionary, communications are up, I got to go with QQQ. I want the smoother move up. Okay? So this shows you here, when this gets strong, the market's going to keep going up. Okay? It's the market cap weighted indicator. Okay? It's just a thing of beauty. All right? So I gave you a little extra there. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to hit you with a reel today or tomorrow. You can see exactly what I did. All right? Everybody have a great day. Stay patient. Stay green. No trade is a trade. Sitting on your hands is a trade. All right? Manage your risk. I'll see everybody tomorrow.